These are the most painful school punishments in the world. I'm Valerio Kawada, and let's start with apologizing. Write it 1,000 times. This has been a form of school discipline for a long time, used to prevent breaking the rules again. For me, this punishment wouldn't work. Here we have 10 dolls, that's the unit we'll use to measure it. How bad is the pain? For example, when you get a paper cut, the intensity is 2 dolls, and when you're hit by a train, it's 167 dolls. You're forced to eat a dry sponge. What kind of teacher would do that? One who definitely doesn't love children. Scientists have found bacteria from 362 species in sponges. And yes, did you know that the objects in the house with the most bacteria are sponges, phones, and door handles? Oh, and do you know why? To have someone yell in your face. That happened to me too. I think every student has seen a teacher who yells their lungs out. If you're exposed to loud noises, your eardrums can burst and bleed. Yes, it's true, but I don't think a teacher can yell that loud. You'd need some really big speakers for that. You have to wear a heavy sign around your neck. That's a bit harsh. Especially since if it's heavy, it'll pull you down. It's a good method to publicly humiliate students who do poorly in school. You're not allowed to pee. This happens often in my school, but not as a form of punishment. It was more like, finish this test and then you can go to the bathroom. Probably so we don't cheat. You can get a urinary tract infection if you hold it in for too long. Next thing you know, it's forbidden to eat lunch. Once, a teacher forced a 9-year-old child to watch his friends eat as a punishment. That's really bad, man. And by the way, it reminded me of a story from school. In our school, the students would leave and set the table for the whole class. And this was done before the break, during the lesson. So in chemistry, I would always leave halfway through the lesson because I really wanted to take care of my classmates and set the table. No, not because I wanted to skip the lesson, but because I valued my classmates very much. Ah, what is the table made of? A genius from a young age to stay in the same place for 2 hours. Besides being very boring, you won't feel anything anymore. Your legs after that, it's tiring. It doesn't sound that bad, but after 10 minutes your legs will be burning with pain. But that's how it is. Once I did 100 squats and the next day I could barely walk. I was walking bow-legged. You get hit with a wooden stick. I'm sure your grandparents told you about this. They told me that if they misbehaved, they'd have to put their fingers on the table and get hit with a ruler by the teacher. Those were tough times. Now it's very easy, you just have to listen and not let ChatGPT do your homework. To throw an apple at your head. What kind of teacher does that? A concussion can lead to speech problems, memory loss, and loss of balance. By the way, this is the first time I'm trying this kind of video format, so please write in the comments if you like it or not. Your opinion matters a lot to me, so write in the comments if you want me to make more. To be pulled by the ears for an hour. I experienced that. They pulled my ear just once and it almost came off. When it happens, you forget your own name. How can someone endure that for a whole hour? And even swallowing your food or standing up will be very hard after that. What rule do you have to break to get such a punishment? Set the school on fire or eat it? To eat expired food from the cafeteria? I don't recommend you do that. When you go to the bathroom, you'll broadcast it to everyone online. Just the salmonella virus kills about 400 Americans every year. I had salmonella, even though I'm not American. And I can tell you it's a horrible disease. It took me 2 months to recover. The worst part is when you go to pee, buddy. Anyway, let's get back to the video. These are details you don't really need to know. Sitting in the chicken position. This position becomes unbearable after just a few short minutes. I'm extremely strong. I think I could stay in this position for a long time. But more than that, I'm ready to prove it to you. Let's see how long I can last sitting like this, okay? So far, there's no problem. Almost no problem. Your legs are already hurting. Well, friends, the position is possible to hold for a long time. I take back my words. It's a bit of a painful punishment. To be locked in a small locker. A teacher locked a 4-year-old child like that over the locker. To scare him. She was a teacher. She was fired. Now that child will be afraid of small spaces for the rest of his life. By the way, hit the like button if you're a student. Let's see how many students are watching this video. So, if you go to school too, hit the like button. A needle to the neck? I've seen those photos with soldiers where they put a needle to their neck so they stand straight. But that's for soldiers, not for kids. It also says here, soldiers have a needle put to their neck to keep their head straight during ceremonies. It's a punishment at military school. But what do you do if you forget about that needle and, out of carelessness, lower your head? Let's not think about bad things and see what's next. The finger in the pencil sharpener? That's really horrible. Good thing I didn't have such harsh teachers. The worst thing that happened to me in school was that a teacher threw a notebook at my head. And that notebook had a cardboard cover. It hurt a bit, but not as bad as a finger in the pencil sharpener. By the way, write in the comments what is the harshest punishment you ever received at school. Write it in the comments. Do you think you could write with the blood from your finger after that? I think I'd have a sharp finger. No, thank you. Getting hot sauce in your mouth. Carolina Reaper is the hottest pepper in the world. It probably even makes smoke come out of your ears. To be hit in the funny bone. It's probably referring to nerves. There's a nerve in your elbow that feels like an electric shock when touched. Whoever designed humans should fix this bug in the next update. Hitting that spot is awful. The sensation is very similar to the moment when you get electrocuted. The sensation is really that unpleasant. It's not for nothing that there are 46 dolls you kneel on frozen concrete. It sounds like it's not painful, but I'm telling you, it's horrible. We did an experiment where we knelt on buckwheat, and after 34 minutes the pain is unbearable. Yes, unbearable.
Look at how my legs look. What?
It's like they're stabbing knives into your knees. Cold, and take a knife. I think you'd never eat peas again after such a punishment. I did eat buckwheat again after, but explain to me, where do teachers get frozen peas in school? And in general, who made this statistic? To put out a cigarette on your hand, where do teachers get cigarettes? Teachers shouldn't smoke, because that sets a bad example for the children. The burn from a cigarette will leave you with a permanent mark. Try explaining that to the parents. If a teacher does such a horrible thing, they should get kicked in the butt and fired. They should be attacked with compost. A teacher in China was arrested after punishing students for not doing their homework. Only now do I realize that the teachers I had were perfect. How important can that geography homework be for someone to be attacked with a compass? I want you to know that if you like what I do and you don't want to miss new videos, then subscribe and turn on the bell. That way, you'll always be the first to see the new episodes. Is it meant to be a human target for baseball practice? Sometimes it feels like they're just making things up. What kind of teacher is that crazy? There are cases where people have died after being hit in the head with a baseball bat. Of course, either these cases are made up or there are some really crazy people in the world. So I don't know what to believe anymore. Running all day long. This video is probably about all kinds of schools. Baseball schools, running schools, and military schools. But anyway, the punishments are way too harsh. This can burn up to 16,800 calories if you don't collapse from exhaustion. I don't know if you've seen, but there are videos where people running marathons have their legs give out and they have to crawl to the finish line. This isn't a joke. 1,000 push-ups, that's even worse. My record was 300 push-ups in one day, and I can tell you, you're really exhausted after that. It's every gym coach's favorite punishment, but taken to an extreme level. First of all, not everyone can do this. You have to be trained, but the punishments will become more and more extreme. I don't even know what to expect anymore. To be sprayed with perfume in your eyes. Your eyes will be irritated, and you'll have a lot of discomfort from the perfume's toxicity. I don't think a teacher can do that. You're forced to drink 10 glasses of water. If you drink too much water, your kidneys won't be able to handle it, and that could kill you. I only know one thing. If you drink that much water, you'll have to pee every 5 minutes, but you should know. The daily norm is 2 liters of water per day. If you drink that much, you won't have any problems. By the way, hit the like button if you're looking forward to the holidays so you can take a break from school too. Hit the like button and time will pass much faster. Should you drink water until you feel sick? When you vomit forcefully, it's possible that your esophagus could tear. About coming to school, is it about the school you go to? Why would a teacher make you eat beans? Or whip you on the legs? You'll need a friend to take you home after that. This probably happened a long time ago because nowadays there aren't such punishments. To pull hair out of your head. If you pull out all the hair from the root, you could become bald. Pray for it to grow back. Just imagine this teacher has a class of bald kids. The kids aren't just bald, they're really bald. I mean, they have no hair on their heads. This probably happens at barber school. If you take someone who needs a haircut, they'll pull your hair out. To look at the sun for 5 minutes. How could someone force you to do that? By looking at the sun, you can always just look away and that's it. It doesn't seem logical to me. Ultraviolet light can damage the tissue under your eye. Yes, because the sun is very hot. It basically burns your eye. The human eye is very sensitive. To be electrocuted, I don't believe that anymore. Electricity can affect your heart or brain. Let's be serious, no teacher would do that. That's more painful than being hit by a train. You solved the math problem wrong. That's how the author imagines school works. You get pierced with a needle. Blood diseases can be transmitted with a needle. Eating a battery? But that's very toxic. As far as I know, even if I'm not very smart, if you eat a battery, you're pretty much dead. The acid in your stomach destroys the battery casing, so you come into contact with dangerous chemicals. Probably after I ate the battery, I could charge the phone in my hand, directly, without any cable. To bang your head against the wall for 2 hours, a strong blow to the head can shake your brain inside your skull. For sure, you'll be completely dizzy after that. You even forget your name and how old you are. But you definitely don't forget the name of that strict teacher who gave you those punishments. To be hit in the balls? I was hit during school, but not by a teacher. I was accidentally hit by the ball, and I can tell you, the pain is really painful. This isn't based on anything scientific, but I assume that the pain when you're hit in the balls is greater than the pain a woman feels when giving birth. But this isn't scientifically proven, it's just my opinion. A strong hit can make you infertile. That means you won't be able to have children anymore. So guys, take care of your little buddy. By the way, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet. It means a lot to me. And, by the way, whoever subscribes will get a good grade at school tomorrow. If you're already subscribed, same for you. I hope that's how it works. To be whipped with a whip. This weapon is used on animals, not people, and especially not on children. The whip is considered a weapon. Imagine a teacher comes to school with a pillow, and another crazy teacher comes to school with whips. Even better, with those electric ones. To be hit by everyone in the class. Boxers say that being hit in the chin and in the liver are the most painful places. I think that can happen, but not at school, only at boxing training. Forced to drink 10 coffees. Coffee gives you energy. I think if you do this punishment, you'll run around the classroom from one side to the other. You'll throw the desks out the window. You'll solve 5 math problems in a minute. Caffeineism is the intoxication caused by excess caffeine. No, I don't believe that. To swallow broken glass. It's extremely sharp. Your digestive and respiratory systems will have big problems. I think this can only happen at a school for magicians. They swallow glass, they walk on hot coals. After seeing all these punishments, I realized that our school really isn't that bad. To be attacked with a stapler. A teacher was fired because he shot kids with staples to make them fall off their chairs. That was definitely fun for the teacher, but he didn't realize that he went to school. He's supposed to teach the kids, not shoot them. He's not there to cause destruction. It is a punishment where a group of people throw stones at another person. It can be used as an execution. I've heard about this kind of torture method, but never as a small punishment in school. I could maybe understand if the teacher made classmates throw snowballs at each other, but not with sharp stones. I don't believe that. Bitten by a snake. 1 in 5 children are afraid of snakes, which makes this even more painful. The last punishments are the most absurd of all. What came next? Eaten by a lion. Attacked by a dinosaur. Setting your clothes on fire. Severe burns can destroy your skin forever. I'm telling you for sure, this video is exaggerating. Maybe something like this happened at school once, but not as a punishment and not from a teacher. Touching an electric cable. Over 30,000 electric shocks. Accidental electric shocks happen every year. Hanging over burning hot peppers. These Aztec schools use this. Well, these Aztec schools were from a very long time ago. Up until the 1400s, I can believe that some of these punishments happened hundreds of years ago. That caused burning sensations and difficulty breathing. It seems the Aztecs didn't joke around at all when it came to learning. For them, everything was solved very simply. Didn't learn your poem by heart? Okay, we have to set you on fire. I'm sure they always did their homework. To be tied above an angry ant mound. A type of ant called cow killer ants. Their stings are very painful. I don't think they're called cow killer ants for nothing. But look at how they look. And they're as big as half a finger. I'll write all the essays for Romanian class, just don't give me this kind of punishment. To hold your hand over a Bunsen burner. Let's see what this looks like too. Well, this time it's not that bad. Basically, it means to hold your hand over the fire. What do you mean? It's really bad, but not as bad as the ants. It's like a kind of lighter, but much older. Understanding how crazy people were in the past, I admit that this could have happened. 100 to 125 doll units to be melted with hot metal. This punishment was used in medieval prisons, much less in the classroom. Okay, then I have a question. What is this doing on the list? Well, on the list, cutting off the nose. The ancient Egyptians, meaning a very, very long time ago, when the pyramids weren't even built yet, used this method of punishment. Imagine the difference between children now and back then. No, I didn't study for the test, my mom took my phone. And how was it back then? I didn't study for the test, I'll lose my nose. They'd stab it with a spear. Accidents are rare on the sports field, but some people have died practicing this ancient sport. They're probably referring to that sport where you go out on a horse with a spear in your hand and fight your opponent. This is a kind of ancient school punishment, but not because you didn't learn poetry, but because you didn't hold the spear properly. But I don't think it can get any worse than that. Crucifixion. A school principal in Nigeria was fired for crucifying children who were late to class. No, that's too much. I don't even want to see something like that. If you liked this video, hit the like button, give it a 5, and I recommend you watch the next video as well. I can do it like this, and like this. I can do it like this.